as you can see, it's gone too, completely leveled. Hopefully photographer Mike Fisch didn't put a nail through his foot as he tries to give you a shot of this, but there is just so much debris right in this area that this family will have to deal with cleaning up. Let's give you a look around here. I'm going to let cameraman Mike Fisch turn around because there's so much stuff on the ground here. I want him to be able to see where he's walking, so I'm not going to make him walk backwards here, but we're walking over and just take a look at all the trees they've chopped down this morning. There is plenty of damage here at this home that belongs to the McKinney family here. And we're just across the county line from Alamance County.
Another Sanford church is celebrating more than just Easter today. WFMY News 2 photojournalist Mike Fisch has more from Kendall Acres Free Will Baptist Church and the hope they're preaching.
And behold, there was a great earthquake.
We do a 7 a.m. Sunrise service. I know all the devastation around us, but it makes it even more real to us.
Their home is destroyed, but they have their family.
Homes destroyed, people are still here, and that's the important thing.
Neighbor is helping neighbor. People of all walks of life are coming together.
It's been a real pleasure to go out and help other folks.
We can and we will go on.
That's what I want our folks to understand this morning. God left us here, and I believe He left us here because He wants us to go and spread the hope.
Just the time I need Him, He's always near. Even though my voice is not what it was 50 years ago, it made me feel good.
We're hoping to have some folks from our community that have been affected that maybe wouldn't have been in church today, and we want to offer them hope. To be able to be in church and to be able to have that relationship with Jesus Christ, that's something no one, no storm can take away from you.
Mosquitoes are a pesky side effect of warm weather, but one man actually ended up paralyzed after a mosquito bit him last July. Photojournalist Mike Fisch has his story.
I ended up in the hospital unconscious, probably within about 48 hours.
Everyone gets bitten by mosquitoes, but the one that bit Eddie Holder
It just made me feel really weak in the beginning, headaches, and I slowly, gradually lost my ability to walk.
It took 2 weeks for doctors to diagnose Eddie with transverse myelitis, which caused Eddie to be paralyzed from the neck down.
If I needed the nurse, they would put the call button on my stomach in the hospital, and that wouldn't do anything. I couldn't even move my arm to grab it.
The instructions from the doctors on recovery were simple for Eddie.
Your recovery will be as good as the effort that you put into it.
And Eddie went to work.
If they told me to do 10 of a particular exercise, I was doing 100, 200, 300.
Eddie's rehabilitation process ranged from a number of different exercises, from TheraBands to riding the bike.
Eddie also received plenty of motivation from his family.
My sister-in-law made a big poster of my daughter and put it in the room for me.
While the recovery is still ongoing, Eddie feels like a new man.
I feel much stronger. I feel much more confident in, my ability to walk longer distances.
In Greensboro, Mike Fisch, WFMY News 2, get answers.
Eddie was among great hang-up campaign, and today the Crash Prevention Network showed us a tool that can make sure your teen cannot text, talk, or email behind the wheel. Here's WFMY News 2 photojournalist Mike Fisch with more on cell control.
A lot of my friends have been in wrecks, and when you ask them why, oh, well, I was texting, or the person who hit me was texting.
You don't have to worry about 16-year-old Katie Kennedy reaching for that cell phone because her mother installed a new device called Cell Control to prevent the urge.
And it kind of takes away the want to text.
Teenagers can tell us what they're doing, but they may not always tell us everything they're doing, and so it's just another checkpoint for us to use.
But how well does Cell Control work? We got answers from Crash Prevention Technical Director Chuck Kennedy.
The installation is easy as reaching into your car, finding the onboard diagnostic port, plugging it in.
Our first test on the road was attempting outbound phone calls.
We're going to make this phone call, or attempt to, and we get an immediate disconnected signal.
As long as the vehicle is moving, Cell Control denied making outbound calls. Next up, texting while driving, and it yielded the same result.
And we get an immediate warning that says, be safe, don't text and drive.
Kennedy says you can make and receive calls while moving, but that's only to certain people.
And even though the vehicle is in operation, we've programmed the parent's telephone to ring through into the car telephone while it's moving.
In Greensboro, Mike Fisch, WFMY News 2, Get Answers.